My son's teacher asked why he didn't look like me, so I took a DNA test. My wife begged me not to. The results shattered everything. Hello, Reddit I+ here. This happened a couple of months ago, and I'm still struggling to fully wrap my head around it. I haven't shared this with anyone in my real life yet. Not my family, not my closest friend. I don't know how to explain what I'm feeling without sounding like I've lost my mind. So here I am. I, 34, have been married to my wife, Jenna, 32, for almost 10 years. We've been together for about 12. We have an 8-year-old son, Noah. Or, I thought we did. Let me just say this before anything else. I love that boy. With my entire heart. From the second he was born, I felt like I found my purpose. I was there for every diaper, every bottle, every sleepless night. He's my little shadow. I coached his soccer team. I read to him every night. I know every line to his favorite movie because I've watched it 50+ times just to see him laugh. I never ever thought I'd question whether I was his dad, but here we are. This all started at Noah's parent-teacher conference earlier this year. Nothing dramatic. It was a Thursday evening. I'd rushed from work to get there on time. Jenna was running late and ended up not making it. So it was just me and his teacher, Mr. Clay. The meeting itself was normal. Good, actually. Mr. Clay had positive things to say about Noah. Smart kid, a bit chatty in class, but nothing major. Toward the end, we got to talking more casually, and he kind of chuckled and said, "It's funny how much Noah looks like your wife. He's like her mini-me. Doesn't really take after you at all, huh?" I smiled and nodded, but something about the way he said it stuck with me. It wasn't mean-spirited, just casual, innocent. But on the drive home, I couldn't get it out of my head. I'd heard that before from people, how Noah was a carbon copy of Jenna, and it's true. He has her bright blue eyes, her pale skin, her blonde hair. I've got dark hair, olive skin, brown eyes. Nothing about him really resembles me. I'd always chalked it up to genetics being weird, but that night something shifted. I brought it up to Jenna as a joke when we were getting ready for bed. Just a light. Mr. Clay said Noah looks nothing like me. Maybe we should get a DNA test. I laughed. I expected her to laugh too. She didn't. She froze. Then she turned around, very slowly, and said, "You're not seriously thinking about doing that, are you?" Something in her voice, panic, fear, made my stomach drop. She got defensive, said I was being paranoid, that it was offensive, that Mr. Clay was an idiot and I shouldn't let stuff like that get in my head. I tried to drop it, but her reaction wouldn't leave me alone. So, like an idiot, I ordered a DNA test. I didn't tell her. I felt like shit doing it, but I also couldn't sleep, couldn't think straight. I just needed to put the thought to rest. I swabbed Noah one morning while Jenna was out grocery shopping. He thought it was funny. Said it tickled. I mailed it that afternoon and tried to forget about it. A week later, I cracked and told Jenna. We were in the kitchen after Noah went to bed. I figured better to tell her before the results came in. She freaked out, like full-on panic. She said I'd violated Noah's privacy, that I was being ridiculous, that I'd ruin everything over a comment from a teacher. I asked her again, point blank, "Is there something I should know?" She said no, over and over again. "Noah is yours." I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. Then the results came in. I opened the email on my lunch break, sitting in my car in a Wendy's parking lot. I don't even remember driving there. I was shaking so badly I almost dropped my phone. Probability of paternity, 0.00%. I read it again, and I just sat there for what felt like hours. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. I didn't go back to work. I didn't go home either. I just drove. No destination. Just me, the road, and a tidal wave of pain I didn't know what to do with. When I finally walked through the door that night, Jenna was sitting on the porch, waiting. She looked like she hadn't moved in hours. She didn't say anything when she saw me. Just stood up and asked, "You saw the results, didn't you?" I didn't answer. She broke down crying. That's when she told me everything. According to her, it happened before we were officially married. We were engaged, yes, but we were going through a rough patch and had taken a break for about 3 weeks. She met up with an old coworker, Brian, for drinks one night. One thing led to another, and she slept with him. She swears it was a one-time thing, a huge mistake, that she regretted it immediately. We got back together shortly after that and got married within a few months. Then, about 6 weeks after the wedding, she found out she was pregnant. She knew there was a possibility the baby wasn't mine, but told herself it was probably fine. And even if it wasn't, I'd be the better father anyway. I asked if she ever got a test. She said no. She didn't want to know. She didn't want to ruin what we had. I can't describe what that felt like. That moment. It was like every memory, every photo, every bedtime story turned into a lie all at once. I didn't scream, I didn't cry, I just went numb. I moved out the next morning, told work I needed a leave of absence, got a room at a motel across town. Jenna called, texted, emailed, begged me to come home, swore she loved me, that I was still Noah's father in every way that mattered, and I want to believe that. I really do, but I can't look at her without seeing a stranger. The worst part? I haven't told Noah. I can't. He doesn't understand any of this. He just wants to know why Dad isn't home anymore. He keeps calling me, leaving voicemails. When are you coming back, Daddy? I listen to them on repeat like some kind of masochist, but I can't bring myself to call back yet. I miss him so much it physically hurts. About 3 weeks after I left, Jenna confessed that she reached out to Brian, told him the truth. I guess guilt finally caught up to her. Now, he wants to meet Noah. Let that sink in. This man, this total stranger, is biologically my son's father, and he wants a relationship, legal rights, custody maybe. And here's the kicker, because I'm not biologically related to Noah, I have no legal rights. None. Not unless I pursue adoption, or Jenna fights to keep me listed as the legal father, which, to be fair, she says she will. But how the hell did we get here? I raised that boy for 8 years. I stayed up with him when he was sick. I kissed every scraped knee. I held him after nightmares. I taught him how to ride a bike. And now I'm being told I might not have any right to even see him? I don't even know what I'm asking for here. Advice? Support? Someone to tell me I'm not crazy for feeling like I just lost my entire world? I haven't made any decisions yet. I'm in therapy, trying to process everything. Trying to figure out if I can somehow be Noah's dad without resenting the hell out of Jenna. Or having Brian constantly in the picture as a reminder. All I know is, a stupid comment from a teacher cracked something open. And what came pouring out wrecked everything I thought I knew about my life. Thanks for listening if you made it this far. I'm not okay, but I'm trying to get there. One day at a time. It's been about 5 weeks since that night. 5 weeks since I opened an email that split my world clean in two. I wish I could say things have settled. They haven't. But there's been progress. Painful, confusing, often contradictory progress. So here it goes. I finally saw Noah. After a couple of weeks of dodging calls and wallowing in my motel room, I met with my therapist and she said something that stuck. You don't need to know how the story ends to keep showing up for your son. So I called Jenna and asked if I could see him. She broke down crying on the phone, said, "He misses you so much. He asks for you every single day." I picked him up the next morning. He ran into my arms like nothing had changed, like I hadn't been gone at all. He didn't ask about the test. He didn't ask why I left. He just told me about a new level in his favorite video game and that his class was going on a field trip next week. I broke down later that night when I got back to my motel, because he's still my son. No matter what a piece of paper says, that love didn't change. But now, every time I look at him, I feel like I'm living in a split screen. The dad I was, and the man who's been lied to. The legal stuff is a nightmare. After my first post, a couple of lawyers in the comments messaged me to explain how things work. I consulted with a local family attorney. Turns out I am still listed as Noah's legal father on his birth certificate, which gives me some standing, but it's shaky. Brian, the bio-father, is now very involved. And I mean, very. Apparently, he and Jenna have been talking a lot. She says she doesn't want him to take over, but also believes he deserves a chance to know his son. I asked her if she still has feelings for him. She swore no. I don't know if I believe her. And honestly, I don't even know if that's the point anymore. Brian filed a petition for paternity, and there's going to be a court hearing. The lawyer says I can contest it, especially given how long I've acted as Noah's father. But even if I win some visitation rights, it's unlikely I'll have full custody ever again. He could take my son away from me. Let that sink in. A man who's never held him through a fever, who's never built Lego sets at 3 a.m. because monsters were in the closet, who didn't even know he had a son until 6 weeks ago. He could walk into our lives and claim something I spent nearly a decade building. Jenna says that's not what she wants. She says she'll fight to make sure I stay in Noah's life. But her judgment hasn't exactly been stellar lately, and here's the truth. I don't trust her anymore. I'm not sure I ever will. As for Jenna, I told her I want a divorce. I gave it time. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I went back through every year of our marriage looking for cracks, signs, something that could have warned me. But it all comes back to this. She made a choice. She gambled with my life, my heart, my identity as a father, and didn't say a word for almost a decade. You don't come back from that. She cried when I told her, said she understood, said she knew it was coming, asked if there was any chance. I told her no. She asked if I still loved her. And I told her something I didn't even realize until the words came out. I think I mourned you the day the test came back. I just didn't know it yet. I don't hate her. I wish I did. It'd be easier. But what I feel is worse. I don't know who she is anymore. We've started the paperwork. I'm staying in a small rental for now, trying to make it feel like home for Noah on the weekends. We're trying to keep him stable, but I know he can feel the change. He asked me the other night, "Are you and Mom mad at each other?" I lied and said, "Just figuring things out, buddy," because what else do you say? There are moments, fleeting, cruel moments, when I catch myself resenting Noah, not because of anything he did. He's an innocent kid, but because of what he represents. The lie, the betrayal, the years I'll never get back, and then I hate myself for even thinking that. I talked about it in therapy. My therapist said it's normal, part of grieving, because that's what this is, grief, the death of the life I thought I had, the family I thought I built. I told her I don't want to feel that way, that I'm terrified it'll push me away from him, that I'll become some hollow version of a dad. She told me to just keep showing up, so I am. I don't know how this ends. Brian might get partial custody. He might push harder. I might lose time with my son. I might win the legal battle but lose emotionally. Because Noah will learn the truth one day, and I don't know how to prepare for that. What do you say when your son asks, "Why didn't you tell me you're not my real dad?" What do you say when he asks why his mom lied? Or why dad doesn't live with them anymore? I don't have those answers. Not yet, but I know this much. I'm still showing up. I pick him up from school, I take him to the park, I read to him every night he's with me, I let him crawl into bed when he's scared. Because no matter what a DNA test says, I'm still his dad, and I'm not letting that go.